1. Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. Welcome to your Inner City Wake Up Call. I'm your host, Lloyd, coming to you out of the port city of Wilmington, North Carolina. We come at you 365 days a year. Wilmington, North Carolina, the port city. Circulating all over the world right now, even in Gambia. No covers. Wake Up Call. March 13th. April 13th, 2016. Happy birthday, Brother Lloyd Madafo Wilson. Happy birthday. Got a couple announcements. Got a potluck coming up. You can find all the information, the events on the No Covers calendar, the events calendar, and business directory. And for you all business owners that said we've been slacking, I haven't forgot about you. We're coming back with the business of the week. Just had some things I had to take care of on my end. Sometimes I've been in one of the moods today. Very melancholy, very much at peace. And I can tell, you like animals have, we have radar. We know when something's about to happen. This morning was probably one of the few mornings that I wasn't rushing. Most of the time when I come to the airways, I'm early Saturday. When I say 5, 4, 3, I'm still putting stuff in place. But for some reason I got up this morning. I didn't have to rush. I got my prayers in. Me and my brother share some scriptures via back and forth every morning. We do our Quranic scriptures. He shared one with me. I shared one with him. And was pretty much had some. I had about 15 minutes before the show went on. So, let's get busy. Should wake up call. That what I mean. Pay and respect with respect to doing. The lines are open. Press 1 if you want to talk to the host this morning. If you like to talk to the host, just press the button 1 and I will get a flag up and I'll see you. I had to share this pay and respect where respect is due because it's Brother Lloyd's birthday. And you all that don't know Lloyd Wilson, I really don't know Lloyd like that. I know my brothers, Frank, Sam, Elsie, I know them like that. I mean, we've been in the trenches together. I've never really been in the trenches with Lloyd. I've never been in Lloyd's house. In all these years, it's about 23 years I've known Brother Lloyd. When I first came to Wilmington, I met him. And I never been to church with Brother Lloyd. And so I really can't even tell you anything much about his life. I don't know where he was born, where he was from. But I know I got to pay respect where respect is due. See, you don't have to know one to respect one. You have to know their works. And if their works earn them the respect, I wouldn't care what you may hear, what rumor mill it may come from. I don't care, he went to, he did. I don't know about all that. All I know is, like the man was born blind. They tried to come at Jesus and say, hey, he did this, he did. The man that was born blind said, all I know is he stuck his hand in some water and rubbed it some water and put some mud over my sop over my eyes. And all the man that was born blind know that he once was blind and he saw. So when they came at him, he's like, I don't want to hear about all that other stuff. All I know is what I see. And I remember in the 1990s, late 1990s, after the Million Man March, I do remember going to seeing Brother Lloyd at the Million Man March. I do remember that. And I remember after that time period, I used to hear about this program called Brothers Reaching Out. And I went over to the program a couple of times. At that time, I wasn't in position to really, I didn't have time. I knew what I wanted to do, but man, I'm ready. I got 6 children now. And I had, 3 and a half at the time, one on the way. So I'm working. I'm working 2, 3 jobs sometimes. I always tell the story. I used to work at Burger King overnight on my way to get a degree. So I'm working trying to take care of these children. I didn't have time, but I kept watching Bruh. I watched Bruh's organization. And I'm like, now notice, this is 1990. Brother Lloyd has an organization called Brothers Reaching Out. Now, of course, he had to throw some salt in there a little bit, but mostly it was African American men. He was doing it within the school system. And he was doing it at DC Virgo. And I was like, wow. And the brother never had to change who he was. He didn't have to put on, I called it the monkey suit. He didn't have to wear no shirt and tie. He was Madafo. He wore his crown, his Afrocentric gear, which anybody know me, I love my style of clothes. He wore what he had. He didn't have to change who he was. He would go in with his instruments and he would do his thing. And he was mentoring. And he was making good progress at a time period when folks wasn't getting paid. The quote, mentoring wasn't a catchphrase. Youth wasn't demanding a lot of money. So when I see Brother Lloyd today, I'm one of them type of brothers. Whether I see him on the bus, I was going to Calumet, Brother Lloyd used to catch the bus. And when he came back, because he was gone for a while, and then all of a sudden I saw Brother, I didn't ask Brother Lloyd where he been. Ain't none of my business. All I know, he was gone. I was glad to see him back. And I remember one day, about a month, about 4 months ago, one of my good friend of mine from DC, Brother Roscoe, was at a meeting. And it was a meeting being held, I think Kevin called a meeting over at the MLK Center. And so Brother Roscoe come back because he don't know anybody in town. He said, it was a brother there named, I don't know, but he dressed a little bit like you and his name was Madafo. I said, whoa, Madafo was there? I said, what kind of meeting was this where Madafo was at? He said, was at the MLK. We was talking about youth and youth. I said, Madafo was there? I said, interesting organization, interesting crowd. Because Brother Roy don't do meetings that much. He was always a solo seller, doing his thing, consistent at what he was doing. So I said, wow, Madafo there. He said, what that mean? I said, brother, that mean when Madafo speaks, listen, I don't care how it comes. When Madafo speaks, listen. Why? Because Madafo was doing this long before any of us was doing it. And even though he might not be connected to the present generation, he can tell us the pitfalls and the potholes that he went through in order to accomplish what he was accomplished. Therefore, I'm trying to suck all the juice I can from him. Oh, Brother Lord, 69, happy birthday, 69. His 69 years of experience doing what I love to do. Because when we started Young Kings at DC Virgo, like I said the other day, that was Madafo in my head. It was Madafo in my head that said, hey, we need a mentoring group here because that's what kept the school alive. That's what kept the school vibrant. If you don't get in and bring these young males and put them in a group setting, especially the ones that are headed to gangs, you know who headed to the gangs. All you have to do is look at last year's suspension rate and look at last year's suspension list. The ones that you suspended are the ones that's headed to gangs. It's not rocket science. You get in the next year, like we did at Virgo, and you put them on a list, and you put them in a group setting. And you don't call it a gang, but you use the techniques and qualities that gangs have, and you bring them into a positive gang. Church ain't nothing but a gang, folks. Brothers, the mosque, the nation, it ain't nothing but a gang. It's a gang, a group of people getting together for a common cause to deliver a common message. Yes, your business. It ain't nothing but a game. You're working together for a common cause to deliver a common message. So why not, instead of, putting them in, letting them go out there to that game, when I saw brothers reaching out. Wow. Link. Yes. The light programs. Link's initiative to educate. Brother, y'all don't know it. We don't call it that, but that's what it is. It's a way to take these young men from one atmosphere and put them in another atmosphere. And you're not going to change them from atmosphere to atmosphere. But when you put them in your contained atmosphere, you can work on those qualities that you want to. Don't declare them now. Oh, don't take their strength out. Don't take their claws out. Just refine their qualities. Fine-tune their skills. And make them a better human being. What we want to do is, powers to be, they want to take them out of one atmosphere, put them in another atmosphere, and then change that atmosphere. They don't want the atmosphere you put them in to look nothing like the atmosphere you took them out of. So, I'm going to be frankly honest today. So, you take them from the atmosphere of Creekwood, you're going to put them in the atmosphere, quote unquote, or let's use the YW, let's be safe. Let's use the YMWCA. You're going to take them from the Creekwood atmosphere, put them in a lily white atmosphere, and expect decent behavior? No. If you're going to take them from the atmosphere, as my brother was sharing with last night, from a Creekwood, from a Turnkey, from a Houston Moore, if you're going to take them from that atmosphere, at least put them in an atmosphere that looks like the atmosphere that they came from, with people from the atmosphere that they came from. And then pick those people who are able to fine-tune those qualities and bring you back a product that you want to see. Brother Lloyd, I thank you for the example. Because he didn't call it men reaching out. He didn't call it guys reaching out. He didn't call it hard workers reaching out. He didn't call it businessmen reaching out. He called it bruh. 1990, he called it bruh. Brothers reaching out. He had the guts. He had y'all know what he had. He had them. He had some kahunas to say, look here, I'm calling it bruh. Because I need my brothers to stand up. We know what the term brothers meant. Meant brothers. I need some brothers to stand up and go out here and deal with these men. And I always hear Brother Lloyd's pain when he talks about he had one brother that consistently went over there to DC Virgo with him. And I hear his pain when he tells the story. Because at that time, there wasn't no money. So I'm always cautious when I see people running and say they want to be mentors and say they want to be helping people and say they want to start nonprofits and they want to save the world. I'm always cautious because I want to know, what were you doing before the money became available? I know what I was doing. I know what my good brother was doing. We went to court without $1 in our pocket. The judge tore us up. We had no money. I talked to Brother Sam this morning. Echo. Elevating communities is a high opportunity. We're going to do a $10,000 3-on-3 basketball tournament and ain't got $1 in our pocket. Woo! We had some kahunas. Yeah. Bruh. Brothers reaching out. Thank you, Brother Lloyd. Thank you for the example of challenging the school system way back in the 90s to do something about this problem that still affects us today. Thank you, brother. Have a very happy birthday. Wish you many more. We're going to do something big on your 70th one. I know this is your 69th. Have a good day. You all remember his example. And from now on, No Covers is going to continue to do this. Our own community, we talking about the history of the past. Whew! And would somebody please find me a picture of Luther Jordan? Please. I want one on my wall back here. On my wall. Please, will somebody find me a picture of Luther Jordan? I've asked everybody in the city for a picture of Luther Jordan. I want a picture. And I cannot find a picture of Luther Jordan to put on my wall of fame. For some reason, he took it all off the internet. So, if you can find me a picture, Get me one. I got one of Thomas, but I want one of Luther. Little Luther. Yeah. My brother Luther Jordan. All due respect to my elders today. Y'all have a peace and blessful day. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy you all. I'm just feeling good today. It's Wednesday. I don't know what they call it. Hump day. Ain't no hump day for me. It's time to keep running. As always, peace and blessing. Your base. Always, the views of this show is delivered by no covers, the host, and no covers only. No organization, just no covers. Peace and blessings. Y'all have a blessed day.